right. Whoa. Some cat hissing at the beginning of the episode right there for you.
That was a hiss?
That was a hiss.
My ears are too clogged up. I thought it was just like they've hit into something.
No, that was a hiss.
A hiss constitutes usually that there's going to be trouble afoot.
Yeah, well, welcome to this week's episode of What Say You podcast, episode 6. Clearly we're filming in my house because Sal's getting assaulted and terrorized by cats. That hiss that you may or may not heard was Benjamin Cat. He sometimes gets a little annoyed when the kitten goes near him.
And they hiss as to say that, look out.
Yeah, leave me alone.
This might get to a place. Mm-hmm. He's warning him. You warn someone of what? Danger? Imminent?
Well,
that was a hiss is an ominous thing, right? So what you're telling me is these cats essentially live together.
Yes.
Yet they're not above letting each other know that they'll destroy one another.
Well, how would you react if you were trapped 24 hours a day in a house? Well, how's your life, Al? I was about to say,
holy shit, I'm a cat.
24 hours a day in a situation with the same people day in and day out.
Wow, it's true.
Right.
The four of us are just like, I guess it's true because I guess I hiss at Murray plenty.
Right.
Yeah.
And you never really hit him?
Not really.
So, that was just what was going on.
Okay. So now you're holding one of the cats.
Brooklyn cat.
And it's...
She
is gnawing.
No. Yes.
Gnawing and clawing into your skin, arm, and veins.
No. Well, one, she's not gnawing. She's just biting. But play bites. She's just putting her mouth basically on my skin. Which she shouldn't do, but we're going to let her do because it freaks you out today. And she's not putting her claws are retracted. Yeah.
We don't have to get into it. I'll never like cats.
Ah.
That's really it.
Oh, she's a kitten.
Okay. That's not bad. I mean, I like puppies. I like kittens. I like when they're in the infant stages, I don't mind it.
Right.
But now she's getting to the level where she's probably like a teen, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and she's going to get into that rebellious phase. She's going to be on the phone all the time. She needs an identity. What kind of cat is that going to be? Like a punk rock cat, an emo cat?
I think we got a drama queen on our hands.
A drama queen?
Yeah.
Like a valley cat?
Yeah, I think that's what we're dealing with. There you go. So what say you, Sal? How's this week treated you? We're a little late. We're coming up Sunday this week.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the podcast if you're going to let that cat claw your eyes out.
She's not. She's putting her paws on my face in a sign of affection.
Okay.
There's no claws.
We just returned from... I don't even know where we were.
Kansas City, buddy.
We were in St. Louis and Kansas City, Missouri this weekend, touring with the Tenderloins.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, 2 really fun shows.
Yes.
2 really cool spaces.
The first night.
Sure.
Where were we?
We were in the... man... I got to start taking ginkgo. But I started taking ginkgo biloba.
Okay.
I got to remember to take some memory stuff.
Where were we?
We were in St. Louis.
St. Louis. That was, I think, maybe
and we were
my
at
favorite.
the Pageant Theater.
In St. Louis.
Theater.
Okay.
Yes, and that was a lot of fun.
Great. You and I think, particularly had a lot of fun on that one because we were drinking.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I was not upset. Not a lot. Not like an
We weren't getting drunk.
No, it was fun because we tried some new material and stuff.
Yeah.
And St. Louis turned out to be a really sweet town. We did a little running around, and we checked out. Well, I checked out. We split skied, but we both saw some cool stuff in St. Louis.
Right.
I saw this place called the City Museum with Joe. Mm-hmm. Which I was recommended to me by a buddy from St. Louis, a comic named Nick, and he told us to go to the City Museum. He just said it's weird and you'll enjoy it if you have some free time. I didn't know what to expect beyond that.
All 4 of us were going to go.
Right.
We walked in.
Yes.
Within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
5 people came over asking for pictures.
Yes, you kind of wanted a more relaxed thing.
Right.
You thought that was a sign of
trouble to come. So I was like, guys, I really don't want to walk around the museum and interact with you. I was in a bad mood to begin with, but I was like, not a bad mood, but not in the mood, let's say.
Right.
But I was like, I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
Indeed. So I had heard, by that time I had asked a few other people after he told me about it, and I heard there's too many unique, cool things. So I just was like, I'm gonna push through, and it turned out to be arguably one of the coolest places I've ever been to in my entire life. Yeah, it was unbelievable. So if you ever have a chance to go there, it was weird stuff. Someone described it to me, and I thought it was a pretty good description. Like if Tim Burton designed a museum.
Right.
It's just an interactive museum with different installations, and it was kid driven.
I hope the mics are picking up that hissing. What happens is she's a kitten, Sal. And Benjamin is around 9 years old at this point. He's in his 50s. She's like 12. So she's way more eager to fuck around and play than he is. So he's just like, he never hits her or anything like that, but he just hisses at her again like, no, it's fine.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
she just attacked the other cat from behind.
She didn't attack him. She went to go play with him, and he's not in the mood right now, so he fucking...
What part of this is normal behavior?
It happens every day around here. He's not always in the mood for it, dude.
All right, now he just dropped on his back and he's biting his own fur.
He's not biting, he's cleaning his fur. It's Benjamin. I've told you this before. What did I just tell you before the mic started?
That he is exceptionally takes care of his coat.
Right.
The doctor said it was one of the best cat coats he's ever seen.
That's right. And look at him.
All right. Anyway. It's like a house of horrors for me, really. So we
So I went to a house of horrors.
Yeah, you did.
I went to a wax museum. I found it. I didn't even know I was going there. We drove down to the Arch, Murray and I, and saw the Arch, which was great. And then posted up a lot of went to a wax museum for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. I put a lot of things on Instagram, which was a good time to mention. You should follow us at What Say You Pod, right?
That's
on
right.
Twitter. And then you're on Twitter as at Sal Vulcano.
Yep.
I'm at BQ Quinn. And my Instagram is the same at BQ Quinn. Where you can see all the photos of the wax museum that I went to.
Plugs out early. I like that.
Get it out of the way.
They just tuned in.
Yeah.
I talked about a cat, and then that's it. Plugs.
All right.
At the Tenderloins.
At the 10 that's right.
I'm supposed to get a public Instagram too soon.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, and you saw some weird stuff. The stuff you saw was like wax Hitlers and wax demons.
Yeah. A wax Hitler commanding an army of zombie Nazis.
That's insanity.
Which, I mean, look, nobody at this table, and it is not the official position of the What Say You Pod, that Hitler was a good guy.
9.
In fact, I would say the opposite. We're definitely not supporters of Hitler's views on anything.
I mean, although by saying that, you're going to...
Go ahead.
You're going to basically put off a part of our audience.
The neo-Nazi.
I mean, if there was any.
Well, I think we could all have differing opinions politically and get along.
I mean, if they're mature enough to understand that, yes, that you don't have to agree with someone to respect them.
Right.
Wait, what?
Well, that being said,
I don't respect them.
Yeah, nor is it the position of the What Say You Pod that we respect.
But again, if they listen, this is going to turn them off.
Right. Well, I'll take that.
So let's say we had, for whatever reason, 20 neo-Nazi listeners.
They were like Fritz was like, "Hey man, hey." He got to the rally. I'm assuming they're in Alabama.
Well, now you went ahead and
well, what do you mean?
Now you sliced off a whole nother non-neo-Nazis in Alabama that don't like to be stereotyped. But you know what?
Right.
Alabama's just part of the shithole that is the United States.
Okay.
So
wait, what
happened?
You've put off the entire United States.
No, not if
you
people understand.
The United States.
If people understand that you don't have to agree with everyone to respect them.
You call the United States a shithole.
Yeah, but that's if you believe it, then
I think you got to go wider if you're going to take that. You got to be like the shithole that is Earth.
I don't know if I do that because that's every listener that we know of, unless it's people looking in on us.
Right.
And there's some dick aliens.
Well, now, any aliens that are listening that might be dicks, you've gone ahead and turned them off.
So that means that no one's listening at this point. So we can basically say whatever we want.
That's right.
Okay.
Which brings me back to my original thing that even though we kind of, I disagree with Hitler's views on things, it was pretty ballsy of a wax museum to make one of their defining fucking settings, Hitler commanding an army of fucking zombies.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. And also no one else was in it. The museum. So it was pretty ballsy. So basically he's doing the same thing that we just did. He's really partitioning his audience.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so the City Museum was delightful.
Okay.
There was like really cool stuff. Like there's a rooftop that has there's a yellow school bus that's half hanging off the roof.
Right.
Like 150 feet in the air.
I can't believe you even went on that.
I didn't realize it was half off the roof till I got to the end and I opened the door and I was looking. There was nothing below me.
But the door doesn't open to nothing. There's glass there.
There's a cage. That's it. And there's a little kid there.
In the cage?
Swinging it open and closed. So I was like, oh, check that out. And then I did it. And I was like, oh, whoa. And then me and Joe ran back out.
Okay.
But there was like a big adult bird cage that you can get into. That's like, I'm not going to do this justice. And there was like an 11-story slide to go back downstairs.
Right.
And then there was just like.
That's a long ass slide.
It was insane. And it was longer than you think because it was spiral. And there was just all these. The entire place is a series of cages, tunnels, like underground, like secret entrances, hallways, and you can basically travel through. The museum itself is the first 4 floors and then the 11th floor roof, and you can get through all of it, like through the ceilings, the floors, the walls. It's really weird. Like, it's not a museum like that. Oh, actually it does. It has artifacts, it has sculptures, it has old antiques, but then there's big sections that are just like interactive playgrounds.
Right.
And it's hard to explain, but definitely check it out. I walked out of there.
A lot of kids.
It was probably like 80% kids.
A lot of germs coating all those things.
They had a giant oversized ball pit. The balls were the size of like basketballs.
Okay.
It was a huge Cajun area. They have like Cessna planes that were like put in the air, and you climb up like a ladder
to get to the planes.
And to get to the plane, then you could just sit on the body of the plane up in the air and stuff.
Well, but there's a cage surrounding the plane. How would you not slide off the wing?
I guess there was a cage surrounding the plane.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
But it was like nothing I've ever seen.
But the germs, the children. You didn't care.
There's a lot of germs. I mean, I didn't really interact with the kids. I told one kid.
What's that?
Some little twerp. Joe and I went. There was this wall. Okay, let me just back up. Let me not put off the people that are listening that have children. Let me not put the. Well, no one's listening at this point.
No one's. It's just
a little fucking asshole.
Right.
No. There was it's basically like choose your own adventure for 5 stories. It's amazing.
Right.
And there's this like little hole in the wall. There was a skate park inside. It was a skateless skate park. So it was all those like, what do you call it?
Pipes and stuff.
Those things, but just and like Tarzan ropes and the kids just do it with their bodies.
Okay.
So it was like we were like the first thing we were like, there's no way this place isn't getting sued. Everything in it, like it's just like, oh, climb 8 stories and sit on that Cessna plane, son.
Yeah.
Or go into the skate park, drop down this 20-foot thing, and the kids are sliding down it, slapping their heads into concrete. This is probably not a resounding thing for City Museum, but on the band on my arm it said we're not responsible. So there you go.
Oh, so that's fine then.
Clears up.
Good.
So there was a carving in a wall, and on it with chalk just said caution, low ceilings.
Uh-huh.
And so we ducked and went into the wall, and in it is a maze that runs through the walls of the place. And every turn you take, the ceiling's lower. It's from anywhere to 3 feet high, so you have to crawl.
You don't like that?
No, I didn't, and I avoided if it was one way, I went the other way.
Okay.
and it was pitch black, and it was like this little strip of LED lighting.
Okay.
And I didn't know where I was. I lost Joe right away. Joe, the asshole that he is, saw like that he could sprint ahead somehow, and then he went through a couple of other corridors, and when I walked by him, he jumped out and grabbed my leg. And he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Motherfucker!" And there was like so many children around. So I was like, "I gotta get out of here. This is not for me." So I found my way back to the entrance, which apparently is just the entrance because some little kid.
Well, it's all right.
Some little kid. He was about 3 feet tall. He looked like a little, just tattletale nerd.
Oh, a little fucking piece of.
He had on glasses,
right.
And he had on like a dumb outfit, and he was like 3 feet tall, and he was like, okay, he wasn't like a kid that's adorable nerd or a kid that I feel bad for. He was like a little annoying, self-entitled,
like a twerp. A twerp.
Yep, that's exactly what he was. And I walked out. I had to get out of this.
It's a cat, dude.
I had to get out of this. Yo, this is gonna keep stopping the podcast if they're gonna keep doing this.
What are you talking about? They're not. Don't worry about it.
This is gonna keep stopping the thing.
No, it's okay.
They're gonna go.
No, that's the way. That's the way he's telling her. Don't even try it. He gives her a little hiss, but he doesn't act on it.
I don't know how enjoyable this is for anybody else. Anyway, the kid. So I had to get out of this tunnel. So I go and I find my way back.
Right.
To where it said enter, be careful. And I exited that way. The kid was right at the entrance coming in.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get out. And he literally like pushed his glasses up. He was 3 feet tall. And he's like, this is not an exit. He said it to me and Joe. He goes, this is not an exit. You shouldn't be exiting this way. And he was like in the threshold of the door.
Right.
And I was like, don't tell me. And we were like in the, like there was no parents around. So I was like, don't tell me what to do, you little jerk.
Did you curse at him?
I think I held back, but I definitely called him like a little jerk. I might even said twerp. I was like, don't tell me where to exit, you little son of a bitch, or whatever I said.
You cursed. You're trying to. Don't.
Joe was behind me, and he probably did it even worse after that.
Really?
I mean, he was probably like, "Fuck off," and like then the kid just like ran into the shadows. And then like I think that like I said it loud enough so that like. When we get out, some people kind of saw that I was giving him shit. They might not have heard what I said.
Right.
So then we were like, oh, hey. But,
aren't you from that TV show?
Yeah. So that was...
Oh, speaking of fucking entering places, what happened when I tried to get into the hotel last night?
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit. How did we not even think to tell this story?
No, I don't know.
What say you, Sal? Fucking 22 caliber pistols.
Okay, so we go back to the hotel. We pull up. We have like a rental car.
Right.
We pull up at the hotel. We get out, and the valet comes to take it. And we're at like the big sliding, the sliding automatic doors,
glass doors in front of the hotel. Thing.
And as we're pulling up, some older gentleman is walking toward the hotel,
dressed oddly. He was wearing like an orange, like African type like
really? Oh, I didn't see that.
They look like Dr. Scrubs, but they're not. They have like lines on them and stuff. He's wearing like a loose fitting.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it was like some sort of ethnic type clothing.
Okay,
and I don't mean that in a comedy way, like ethnic type. I mean, it looked like something
Yeah,
like,
but he looked immediately off.
Crazy.
He was like a little bit wobbly, and he looked a little bit like shaken or something. I don't know what. He wasn't all there.
You didn't see this part, but the valet came out to like see if we need help with the car, and this guy full on bashed into him, like just barreled into him. Wasn't like trying to get around them. Was trying to walk through him.
Right.
And the valet guy was like, "Whoa." And the guy didn't say anything. He just went around them and went inside the hotel.
Okay. Yeah, I saw when we pulled up, he passed in front of the car, and Joe made a quip like, "Oh, he made it. This guy made it."
Because he looked weird. He had like a silver. It wasn't the clothing. It was he was also carrying a crutch, but not using a crutch. He was.
Yeah, that was weird.
He had a silver studded belt on with a giant belt buckle on it.
I didn't see any of that. I just saw he had a big backpack.
Yeah, no, he had a backpack. He had like a.
Didn't he have on a fedora?
Yeah, it was just a weird outfit. It was just a very bizarre outfit.
Yeah.
And
I'm getting out of the car. You're on the other side of this big. We had a big truck because we had to carry all of us in the luggage. Like this big, like 8-passenger truck. And I hear you go, whoa.
Well, what happened was there was someone there who wanted autographs. So she went around to the other side of the car to get all you three because I had already gotten her already.
Right.
And I was like, all right, let me go in. I don't need to be out here.
Yes. It was a young girl, like a young, nice girl fan.
Yeah.
And that's why not just for her, but for all of our sakes, I hear you go, this is all I hear. Whoa. This guy's got a gun.
Right. He had a gun.
So I'm like, and I could tell in your tone you weren't like...
I wasn't kidding.
At all. And I come on the side of the thing and I look, and the guy is waving a gun in around.
Yeah, it's a little... It looked like a Derringer, like a one-shot, like in Back to the Future 3 with the Mad Dog Tanner was going to shoot him in the back with. It was one of those, but it was obviously a modern one. And when I went to walk into the hotel, he was blocking the entire fucking doorway. And I was like, all right, we got a fucking nutcase on our hands. Let me just get by him. And then I go to his left. He dodges the left. I go to the right. He goes, are you a guest of this hotel? And I was like, good. I don't want anything to do with you. I just said that straight out. Like, I just want to go into the hotel. Right. And he goes, are you staying at this hotel? And then he moves his hand. He rotates his hand, his left hand. He rotates, and I see he's palming a gun. And I just said to him, I go, is that a gun?
Right.
And then he holds it up to show me. And he goes, are you a guest of this hotel? And then I was like, well, fuck this.
Right.
I go, get the fuck away. Get the fuck away from me. I don't want anything to do with you. Get the fuck away from me. So I start backing up. But in my head, I'm like, I am now existing in the very real possibility that I'm gonna get shot.
Yeah.
Like
it's a weird thing. Yeah,
it is. I've never felt that. I've done some fucked up things in my life. You know what I mean? Like burning buildings, we've jumped out of airplanes together. I've done some weird shit in my life. But it was like this was an all new weird experience of like I'm about to get shot. Right. And in my head, I was like, well, it's a 22. Which I recognize, but people have died from 22s. I mean, they glorified BB guns, but you can't die from one.
The hell with that. He was right. He was a foot away from you,
holding it right at me. And he goes, and he starts lurching because that's a thing.
That's when I saw it.
Sure.
And so you yelled, and then everyone comes from around.
Get the fuck away.
Yeah.
Well, no. Let me tell you the connecting tissue between that moment because I was like, holy shit! And this giant pillars holding up the covering for where the cars come. And I start backing away from him, and I was like, get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. I don't want anything to do with this. And he just keeps going, you a guest here? Are you a guest here? So I go to back behind one of the poles, and that's when I notice / remember my 3 best friends are there, plus a fan of the show, plus a valet.
Right.
And I was like, oh, fuck, I don't want to tackle the guy or anything like that.
Yeah. I was going to go around the other side.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to play it. Because I was like keeping a distance because I wanted to see what movement the guy was going to make.
Right.
But then he
was waving around a gun.
He was waving around a gun.
Right.
And I was like in semi-shock.
Yeah.
And then he quickly about-faced and ran into the hotel.
Right.
And we were just all like, what the hell?
Right.
So,
but in the hotel lobby
was right our friend and our manager.
Well, no, Doug Thompson, who opens
comedian,
for us,
travels with us,
was in there. But also, I looked in, and there were no less than 15 high school girls.
Yes, because it was a convention
in the lobby
at the hotel, and they were all high school kids,
and they were having a sleepover in the hotel. I guess it was a hotel trip, high school trip, and they were just sitting around. Like having a sleep out.
It was a huge lobby with tons of couches and stuff.
I mean, the lobby was the size of a mall. It wasn't like you walk in and there was bars in the lobby. There were all sorts of stuff. And my thought was like, this like fucking crazy guy with a gun, running towards those teenage girls.
Yeah. So the valet's like, the valet starts like going on his walkie,
right?
But like no one's really around.
Oh, that's what I told Murray. I go call 911.
Right.
I go call 911, Murray.
Right.
So he starts, and that's what made the guy run away. That's the chain of events.
Okay. So we running after him.
Because we're like, what are we going to do?
Yeah, or at least tail him. We're not running at him.
Right.
But he's meandering oddly, swiftly, and unsteadily.
Right.
And he has these crutches in his hands, but he's not using crutches. He's got a big bag. The guy is
But then he took out a cell phone
right
and started recording us.
Right.
Which actually made me feel better.
Right, because it felt like maybe
he thinks he's a victim. Something's going on here. And
but that doesn't make me feel that good. Because then I was thinking maybe he's like, in his crazy head, he's got to defend himself against people that are coming after him. That's what I felt. But he walked right past the high school kids.
He went right there, and I said, girls, get away from him. Right. He's crazy.
Right.
And then Doug, and I think you and I felt at that moment. Correct me if I'm wrong, because we didn't even talk about this.
Right, we have never talked about it.
We have not talked about it. It's such a bizarre occurrence, but anyway. But I thought that probably you felt the same way. Once we had assured that the high school girls, and we're talking, again, not the 90210 hot high school teenagers. They looked like babies.
We were not that lucky.
Yeah. Right. They were dressed out in sleepover apparel, which would have been great if they looked 20.
Right. No, they look like real high school kids look like kids.
They look like babies.
Right.
So I screamed, "Get away from me, he's crazy." And then once he took off.
And then Murray was, to be fair, Murray was still outside. He was like, "Girls, come here. Yes, come to me."
He did.
No. That's a joke.
Right. But I felt like once the high school kids were safe, I felt like you and we had done our job.
Right.
Like how much danger we're pursuing a gunman.
Well, at that point, you think the hotel security
could take over.
They called 911, and then in a few minutes there'll be anywhere between 5 and 10 people from the hotel.
Right.
And there wasn't.
No.
There wasn't at all.
They did not show
up. So now he goes up an escalator.
Right.
And I am thinking to myself, like, Murr and Joe stay behind, but I did hear them say, like, "What are you, like a complete..."
Well, they were yelling at us to come back.
Yeah, they're like, "What are you guys, assholes? Like, why are you pursuing this person with a gun?" And I'm like...
To be fair, I don't think they knew there were high school girls in the lobby. They didn't have our vantage point.
Yeah, but what they're saying makes sense. Like, why you... But in my head, it's like, I didn't... You had to warn whoever. Not that I'm going to go karate chop, take the gun. I didn't anything like that. But I wanted to at least warn.
Right.
Now he's just roaming through the hallways of the hotel.
Right.
God forbid there's other high school kids or anybody.
Sure.
I just want to be like, heads up. This guy's crazy until somebody comes.
Right.
So we're kind of tailing him in that manner.
Well, Doug.
And then Doug runs. I don't know if it was the Amstel lights or just he's like a superhero in disguise. But then Doug
has a wife and kids.
Yes. And Doug starts a faster paced pursuit up the escalator. So we look at each other like, oh God. So then we start running.
Now we can't leave Doug alone.
Right. So we start running. Mind you, I just realized what I was holding. When we have these shows, like we request just some things in the dressing room because we like just show up and like just some food and drinks and like whatever it is, like gum, like silly stuff. But like when we leave, like we never eat it all and do anything with it. So like when we leave, it's like I feel so bad. It's like such a waste. So like a lot of times I'm like, well, this is silly. Like I'm not gonna just throw this stuff out. So we pay for it. We pay for the stuff.
It
comes out of our pocket anyway. But they get it for you ahead of time. They take it out of your pay, and so it's there. And we usually have. I'll tell you what we have. We have a tray of fruit.
Fruit tray, a vegetable tray.
A
box of tea.
Coffee tea, Tylenol.
5 packs of
gum. It's nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
And then Joe recently started asking for like cookies, cakes, pastries, and chocolates. So that's there.
Right.
And then last night we had people coming to see us, so we had extra stuff like crackers and cheeses and meats and stuff.
Right.
So like when we were leaving, I noticed like, okay, there was a full nice sleeve of like artisan crackers that wasn't opened. So I put that in a plastic bag.
Right.
And then I noticed there was Starbucks coffee that wasn't opened. So I put that in a plastic bag. I noticed some Twinings tea that wasn't opened. I put that in my bag. And then I noticed organic chocolate. So I put some of that in my bag.
Delightful.
And I said, we also have water, Diet Coke, Snapple.
You and I get Amstel Lights.
Right.
It's called a rider. We're not being dicks.
We pay for it.
We pay for it, and it's standard every single.
It's just because we show up off the plane and we have to eat something before we go on, and so I put a couple of waters in that bag, maybe a Snapple, And then
So you're basically grocery shopping backstage at a show.
I don't really do this. I usually take the gum and that's it. And then I saw like a nice jar of honey that wasn't opened. So I took the honey.
In the shape of a bear.
Yeah, it was in the shape of a bear. Yeah, in the shape of a bear. And
yeah, I know, because they held me up at the airport today. Fuck it.
I'll tell you what, that'll come later. A couple of other personal effects. And I'm holding this bag of groceries. And I don't want to, to me, it has value. I don't know why, but it has value. This is like things can be worth $1 if you get them for free.
Right.
It has value. If you give me a brand new pack of unopened gum, if I see it like sitting there and no one claims it, I'm like, holy shit! I could be a billionaire. I'd be like, oh man, I just scored free gum. So I'm holding all this free food. Like, I would never buy these chocolate bars. They're like $5 chocolate bars.
Yeah, certified organic chocolate bars. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Like, give me a Hershey's bar. Maybe throw some almonds in it. I know. Like, I don't need all this.
That being said, it all depends on where we go, because a lot of times they get the worst shit. Yeah. But so I'm running with this bag, and I'm like, I won't put it down. We now ran from outside the hotel, through the corridor, through the lobby the size of the mall, up an escalator, and now we're down a hallway. We pass a bar. Right. We make a left down another hallway. I'm clutching this shopping bag like it is literally a bag full of gold. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm not losing these crackers and this organic chocolate.
If this guy shoots me, they're burying me with this honey.
Yeah, here lies Sal with his honey bear. So I wouldn't let go of it. I realized that. So then finally, this guy ended up exiting another area of the hotel.
He went out the side entrance.
And some worker said he just exited.
Which is really fucking bizarre, because it seemed to me that the hotel felt that was the limit of their involvement in it.
Yeah.
The manager of the hotel and the security guy were like, he's gone. Don't worry about it. And we were just like...
Two people finally caught up to us at that point and said, he walked out. So, all right. So then right outside the door is a guy waving a gun. Okay, fine. And then as we were walking back, I realized like I was clutching that bag like it was my firstborn child.
Right.
And when I got to the room, it really was just crackers, gum, honey, and a little bit of chocolate.
It was a nice... Oh, and then we got back downstairs and Joe and Mer were a little annoyed at us.
Yeah.
They were like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? But I will tell you what, it was a good feeling, and one that I haven't had in a little while, when the high school girls were like, thank you.
Yeah.
They were like, thank you so much. That was the scariest thing that has ever happened to us. So thank you. Thank you for looking out for us. Like, it felt pretty good.
Yeah. And we learned earlier in the night when we just arrived at the hotel, there was 1,000 kids there. They're from the Agricultural Leaders Society of like America. And they're young kids that are there for a leadership conference, and they're all in the field of agriculture and learning how to feed. They have an initiative, she said, where they want to feed 9 million hungry people by 2015.
Wow.
So I remembered that. And as the girls got in the elevator, it was like maybe 9, 10, maybe like 10 girls.
So I thought it was like 10, 15.
Something like that. And then like they were in the elevator saying thank you, and the doors were about to close, and I was trying to remember what they did. And I knew it was like something noble.
Right.
And like I guess I was just in the middle of a gunfight with crackers, so I was like
you brought crackers to a gunfight?
Hey, who's this asshole that brought organic honey to a gunfight? Who brought organic honey to a Derringer fight? So the elevator doors are closing, and I go, don't worry, man, just look after the crops. And they all just started laughing, but I was like dead serious. I was like, just mind the crops.
Sure. Don't forget what we did here today. Go forward.
Earn this.
Yeah.
Like Saving Private Ryan. Oh, God. And I put that honey in my carry-on. And we got to the hotel. I was at security for 40 minutes. They ran my bag.
Annoying.
They ran my bag 4 times through the thing because the guy couldn't figure out why the girl kept flagging it. And then I'm like, oh, this fucking guy. But I told you, I said the honey's 4 ounces.
Right.
It's a little honey bear. It's organic. 3 ounces is the legal limit.
Right.
4 ounces.
And you're an ounce over.
It's over. And I said, oh, you know what? But I felt like that honey was such a score. So I said to you, it's 4 ounces. Let's see what happens. I knew going in.
If you had poured out an ounce,
yeah,
would you have been able to keep it?
I think so. I don't know how that's measurable. At that point, it might have been. But so he puts it through, and then you waited for one turn for me, and then you're like, I'm not waiting for this anymore. You're like, I'll meet you at the gate. I'm like, all right.
Like, this is fucking annoying.
He puts it through again, and I know it's the honey, but he's looking at the X-ray, and he can't tell what it is, and he's looking at me going, geez, I don't know why she flagged this. He's like, I just can't figure it out. He's divulging that to me instead of going back up to her and being like, "What do you?"
She's right there.
What do you think the bomb is? Like she's seen something suspicious. That means I'm the suspect.
Right. You're the perp. The potential perp.
I'm over his shoulder like a little kid, like when their dad's driving, like talking to their dad,
Right.
and he turns to me. He's like, I don't see what she sees. He's like, I don't know what is in here that I'm supposed to be flagging. He's like, do you have any? I was like, I don't have any idea.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, if I had like a fucking dynamite stick in there, like, what's he telling me for?
It is really odd because this mic that we're recording on right now is the Yeti mic. It's called.
Yes.
And it looks like kind of like an old school studio mic.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So I've been bringing with us on these journeys with us in case you and I ever could find a spare minute to record What Say You. And some people I send it through don't even fucking blink.
Right.
Some people look at it and they're like, what is that? And I go, it's a mic. And they don't even say anything.
Right.
This girl that flagged your honey
She flagged 5 people in a row.
Yeah. She made me pull it out, show it. They had me explain what it was. They put just the mic through to check it and stuff like that. So these TSA people.
I mean, because God love them.
God love them.
But my point is that
they're just trusting. That's what I'm saying. Like, they asked me what it is. It could be a bomb. I'm like, nah, it's a mic.
But they did that wipe thing, right? With it.
This time.
Yeah.
The last few times, I just say, it's a mic.
Yeah, there's the one time that you got they stopped your bag. You had a 1 foot long screwdriver in it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, one of the cats knocked it in, right? That was, what, a month ago?
Yeah.
And I thought it was, what the fuck did I, my sonic toothbrush.
You didn't know what it was. You're like, that was so funny too, because you're like, it's nothing. Trust me, it's a toothbrush.
It's a toothbrush.
And he's like, really? And he just took out. I'm not kidding. It was a foot.
It was the extra long ones to get into crevices and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like
he's like,
a prison
what the
check.
hell is this?
I was like,
That was the fun. I actually took a picture. I'll post it.
I was like, I guess that my cat's knocked it in.
We're like, oh, hey, he brushes his teeth with that.
So now I got the guy standing up. He's holding the knife like a teacher just found the note I was passing. Right. He's holding it up like, you care to explain this?
Right.
I'm embarrassed because I just mocked him.
Right.
I was like, no, it's an electric tooth. Trust me, I know. I know what you're doing. It's an electric tooth. I got you assholes behind me going like, what are you brushing your teeth on a toothbrush? Horrible.
You look like a liar.
I look like a liar.
You look like you're trying to smuggle in a weapon.
Yeah. Which I guess I was.
So he runs it through. He asks me, I say, I don't know. But in my head, I'm like, it's the honey.
Right.
But I'm not, he doesn't know. I'll wait the extra 5 minutes to get this free, sweet golden honey. Sure. This organic honey.
That retails for like $2.50.
I was going to say $4.99.
Oh, even more reason.
But when it's free, it's invaluable. Right? So I think about it. I come home, I put that on the counter. Like, you have honey for a while.
Yeah.
Honey doesn't go right away.
It doesn't go at all.
And that's what I was thinking in my head. So I'm like, I'm not gonna tell him it's the honey. Meanwhile, my time's worth so much more than 40 minutes. So
like, we could have been sitting there coming up a TV show ideas, anything.
He puts it through again. He can't find it. He starts emptying my bag and putting the contents of my bag in one by one. What he didn't know is inside my bag there was another bag, and that's where the golden organic brown honey bear was. So finally he goes, "Is there anything in here?" And I go, "Yeah." And I take it out, and he sees it, and he's like, "Ah." He's like, "This may be it. This may be it." So he takes all my stuff again, puts it through again, and he's talking to her. I see them talking. It goes through, and then I'm like 10, 15 feet away. There's like 40 people, 50 people in the vicinity, and they see me because I was already the guy that was like kind of holding things up a little bit. And he's like, it goes through, and he picks up. He holds it over his head. I swear to God. He holds it over his head and he goes, "You're not going to be able to keep the honey, bro."
He called you bro?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because you're not going to be able, maybe did he say bro? I felt like in my head he said bro.
Right.
He goes, "You're not," I think he said bro. I really do. Because we had been talking for like 20 minutes. Right. And he goes, "You're not going to be able to keep the honey, bro." And I'm like, "It's totally fine, man. Just keep." He goes, then he comes over and he goes, "You have options."
Okay.
He says, "You can give it to someone, that's not in behind security.
Right.
He's going on with these options. He goes, you can exit. He's like, you can request to get your luggage back and put it into the luggage that's not a carry-on. And I'm like, just stop there.
Right.
Just keep the honey.
Do you think he's somewhere right now?
I said, you can have it. He goes, no, I don't want the honey. I was like, all right.
Well, he's too good for fucking free honey?
I don't know. I don't know if they're allowed to take that kind of stuff. And P.S. Postscript.
Okay.
The first thing that went through was my backpack. It had a mesh side pocket with a full bottle of water in it. They never said a thing about it.
You know what I love about our friendship is that we've just spent equal amount of time talking about honey as we did as a gunman waving a gun in my face.
That's right.
And for some reason, we have not talked about the gunman because after it ended, we just went to bed. We should have been talking about that.
Right.
We should have gotten a stiff drink.
Yeah.
We should have been talking about it all day.
Right.
We forgot about it until this moment.
Right. We were basically essentially squared off against like a crazy gunman.
Right. Well, this is going to be a short episode.
Okay.
We're going to cut this one a little short.
Okay.
I do want to hit you up 2 topics before we go.
Okay. Yeah, I think I forgot what I was going to talk about before.
2 things. One, I want to bring up Fast and the Furious again, and we want to talk about Tori Wells.
Yes.
So which one do you want to tackle first?
Good news.
Good news, everyone.
We keep getting benchmarks for the show. Like, we finally got our first guest on, and he was amazing.
Roy Wood Jr.
Yeah, and by the way, the outpouring of support from you guys to Roy Wood's mom and Roy Wood has been so fun,
right,
and great.
And he really appreciates it.
Yeah,
he's been saying a lot of like nice stuff.
I mean, and I've been seeing you guys have been reaching out to Tobin Bell, you've been reaching out to Gallagher, you've been reaching out to Tori Wells, but that, I mean, the Rod Stewart thing must have struck a chord with you guys.
Right.
There's been, I mean, like hundreds of tweets.
It never ends every time I go, and we love it. We love it.
So, but another benchmark is, and it happened rather quickly because we're only in episode 6. Tori Wells has responded in kind to us favorably and says she absolutely wants to do the podcast.
Amazing.
That is a huge, tiny victory.
Well, it's huge for you because Tori Wells was your dream.
Yeah.
Diana Lauren was mine.
That's right. Diana Lauren also responded.
But not
the
favorably.
exact opposite way. She was like, don't harass me. I will call the cops.
Somebody made a joke about Sal and said, hey, you should go on the What Say You pod because Sal has super AIDS.
Right. And Super AIDS being a reference.
Just tell him, Steve Dave, it's just a joke.
Which, your other podcast, it was a joke that I got bit by a mosquito. Like there's the zero... The ground, patient zero mosquito that had super AIDS.
Super AIDS. Right.
And it was like this joke, and they made a movie trailer about it. And
that's great. How great is that movie
They ran with it. I mean, a lot of you are probably telling Steve Dave fans yourself. And
you get it. You get it when we do live shows. Tell them Steve Dave fans are like, how's the super AIDS doing?
Yeah. It's just a fun little like ongoing inside joke we had. So, but that didn't translate.
No, because Lauren goes, I will not be guilted into doing a show just because someone is sick.
That's right.
And I was like, oh, she doesn't get it.
Right. Well, why would she?
Sure, but I guess the Super AIDS thing. But people were like, hey, you should be on. This was the Super AIDS things. You're right, very forgivable. Because for all she knows, we're making fun of people with AIDS, which we're not. Which Tom Steve Dave is not doing.
Not at all. No.
Right. But I could see the perception of it.
Is Super AIDS real?
No.
Well, that's what's funny to me too, because she wasn't even like she like believes there's something called Super AIDS,
right.
Like it's like worse than AIDS, which is the worst.
Right.
Like I don't know.
So people are like, hey, you should do it. You should be on What Say You Pod. And she responded like, hey, I never promised anybody I was doing anything. Like, you can't back me into doing it. And I was like, oh, she's got no sense of humor.
Right.
No sense.
To which Tori Wells, to her credit, was just like, can't wait, love it.
Can't wait, love it.
Reach out, I want to do it.
Yeah.
And then people have been like saying, oh, this is amazing. And she just like keeps being like, I want to do it.
Yeah.
So the thing is that we had to kind of exchange information. So we're just waiting for that to happen.
Right.
And we're going to try and figure it out.
We'll figure it
out. We think she's based out west.
In Las Vegas.
In which case you might have to do like an over the phone thing.
I say we fly out there.
Unless we can somehow, we feel it'll be a much different podcast if we're all in the same room. There's something to that.
Of course. Well, I feel like, what are we doing, Sal? Are we taking What Say You Pod seriously or are we not?
Yeah, that's let's take this offline and we'll talk.
I say let's fly. I say let's fly. I say let's fly to Vegas. Let's see if there's interest in a live What Say You Pod show in Vegas. 100 people, small potatoes, and then fucking go. But,
Oh, okay, that helps.
you know what I mean?
That helps.
Go do a show. Maybe have her on the live show.
And we'll do two.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so Tori Wells was my jam
Yeah.
from like I don't even know what, like
She was your porn star crush, right?
yeah, like 90 to like 96 or something.
That's
like
a
that.
long time.
Yeah,
Most relationships I've had do not last that long.
I mean, I've since changed, but then I hadn't thought about her. She like came back into my life,
Right.
and I recently looked her up now, and I saw like something on like a documentary. I don't know what I saw, but she just it just was like, oh my god, let's try this.
Yeah.
Dreams come true.
Dreams come true. For you, not for me so much. I can't even get Tobin Bell to fucking respond to me. He's a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
But we'll get him.
As our audience grows, hopefully so will our reach.
Right. But I got to reiterate, please make it sound warm, friendly, and inviting. Because some people, and I'm looking at you telling Steve Dave fans, are used to fucking chomping at that bitter, angry bit of being like, yo, why the fuck won't you do the show? Or Tobin, you owe it to him. What the fuck, bro?
You owe it,
Yeah. It's got to be warm and respectful and inviting. So please, if we do continue to pursue Tobin Bell, which we will, let's make it friendly.
But just to reiterate, that victory is that's a victory of our fans.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So the listeners got Tori Wells on.
Yes.
I mean, we might have tweeted it once. That's not. It was the consistency.
That's right.
That you guys actually put out there, and we only really have like what 4 targets right now, 3 targets. So we're pretty damn good.
Diana Lauren's gone. We could take her off.
Right. And
Tobin Bell.
Yeah. And Gallagher.
Got Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, Rod Stewart.
But we've succeeded so far. So this is already coming to like. The show is evolving from like a grassroots type of place, and I love it.
We're getting what we wanted.
Yes,
the listeners involved from day one. Okay, so there's that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the Fast and the Furious marathon. I want to do it for our 10th episode. Can we find something in the next 4 weeks, or am I dreaming? Do you think? Probably dreaming.
Well, it's 6 movies.
6 movies. 5 movies. 6 isn't out on DVD yet. The first 5.
Yeah, but so when are we gonna download 6?
Well, we got it right here. There they are.
So we're gonna need to either take a full day and night,
right,
to watch every one of them, right, or break it up into 2 episodes.
Or break it up into, or
that's an endurance. I mean, 6 movies is a lot.
Well, we don't have to.
And then to do the podcast in between them.
Well, we could watch 1 and 2 one night, record the first half of the podcast. 3 and 4 another night, record the middle part. I guess it's not a half. First part, middle part, and do the 5, and release it as 1 episode. You know what I'm saying?
All the while putting out other episodes.
Yes, yeah. Maybe that's the way to do it.
That's how you do it. So we'll bank them.
All right. Okay,
so maybe we're gonna begin and the goal of this again, if you haven't heard that episode, is the next Fast and Furious that comes out. We want to announce a live viewing with all of our fans, all of our listeners and friends and everything, to go watch it with us. And then we want to have a live podcast.
We'll go from the movie theater to the theater. And review.
Yes.
And do a whole live show on Fast and the Furious 7.
Which will be great. It's going to be great.
It'll be so much fun.
And we want to do stuff like that a lot. And we're also trying to do that with Gallagher.
Yes.
We're going to pick a date. In the next couple of podcasts, we're going to pick the official date we're going to go see him. And we invite all of you to join us and make that a completely magical night. Because it's already magical with him.
Yeah. Oh, of course. It's Gallagher. All right. So that's it. We're gonna wrap this up. You got something else?
I am gonna try and just call one random number.
Oh, that's right. Of course.
Like I said, I'd like us to try and follow one new person and call one random person on the phone.
We didn't follow anybody this week.
We didn't follow him, but it didn't come up organically. So we'll maybe pass on that unless you can think of someone. But I'm gonna dial. I'm gonna make up a number. And I'm going to dial it.
Right.
Because, like I said, it occurred to us that you could reach almost anyone on this earth from the device in my pocket.
Magical thing called a phone.
And I don't know. And so we want to just have guests from across the earth on each week, no matter how short or long it may be. And usually I don't get through because it's much more difficult to dial a random number and it actually work than you think.
Right.
So, do you think you want to just give me like a area code that you know?
Why don't we look up the area code for New Mexico and try and reach someone in New Mexico?
Okay.
What do you think on that?
Sounds great.
Okay. So it's New Mexico. I don't even know if Manchester United won today. That's off topic. New Mexico area code. Boom. List of New Mexico. Here we go. 505.
Okay, so we'll do.
I don't give a fuck.
That's your ringtone.
That's my ringtone. 1 5.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know
Which is famous on the Impractical Jokers set. Everybody just walks around now going, I don't give a fuck. Which is Chris Tucker, right?
Yeah.
From Friday. Am I right?
Yes, that's right.
Is Chris Tucker on Twitter. Hey, there we go.
That's awesome.
All right, we got that at the buzzer too.
Yes, that was good. Very good.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm going to dial this number while you look up if Chris Tucker's on there. So I'm going to dial 1505, and then I'm going to leave the rest to fate.
At Real Tucker. Booyah.
Booyah.
Following Chris Tucker. And we got to try and get him on the show too.
Yes, and also Doug Stanhope doesn't want us to say booyah anymore, right?
Yeah.
No, that was a fan. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
1505 282. Okay, here's the random number.
There you go.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
When is my dream going to come
We
true?
got a weekly episode, my friend. We'll get it eventually.
All right.
All right. Well, do you have any interest in having Chris Tucker on the show?
I mean,
Huge fan.
I think every week that should be it. Yeah.
All right. So we have Chris Tucker at Real C Tucker.
Yeah.
We just followed him.
He's awesome, Chris
He's
Tucker.
great. And I just saw him in what's that play?
Silver Linings Playbook?
Yes. And
Yes.
he was really. Well, we're fans of him. We always.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
Yeah.
God, yeah.
So Chris Tucker, if you
Yeah.
guys want to respectfully reach out to him,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, here's my one dilemma, though.
Okay, what do you got?
I don't want to saturate. Like, I don't want to, like, obviously, like, we because now, when we're 20 eps in, we're going to have 20 different people trying to get on, so it'll always be a revolving thing.
huh?
See, I just, because
Well, what if we did just
we
give it a
really want to
shot?
lean on, like, a Gallagher or a Tobin Bell.
Right.
And so if our resources are now being redirected
you're
to
right,
Chris
you're
Tucker, how does that work? What do we think?
well,
We encourage you to tweet at these people,
right.
prioritize
That's
as you see fit.
There you go.
Okay, and if you listen to the podcast, you know that we have a certain priority. Like Tobin Bell,
Right.
is like
Sure.
the cream of the crop here. Not to take anything away from Chris Tucker, but Chris Tucker would be a nice to have. But so that's it. Reach out to whomever you like. Just know that
Right. All right.
allocate your resources correctly.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the What Say You podcast. I'm Brian Quinn,
Sal Volcano.
and we will see you next week.
I heard that Rome wasn't built in a day. Then how come everyone is rushing to get ahead? And if I seem to be reserved, that's just my way. Your questions seem like you're interrogating me. Yeah, I try. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a D next time. Okay. Here we go. I heard the lemon metaphor 4 million times, and I don't stand for lemonade, don't ask me why. And would a beverage stand be a job that be desired? And where would I get the wood, and should I try? Should I try? Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a 65. Yeah, I try, yeah. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I might as well just I heard the currency don't grow like leaves on trees. Then how come my money comes and goes so seasonally? And I wish farmers planted plants instead of thieves. My friend pays a ton of green for greener groceries. Yeah, she tries. Then again, she don't try. She gets an F for effort. She'll plant a tree next time. Yeah, she tries. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a D next time. Yeah, I try.